It began like any ordinary morning, the kind of day where parents drop off their children at school, trusting that the people inside will nurture, protect, and guide them. Before we continue, please take some time to subscribe to Dailydose, like, and share this video. But behind the walls of Central Elementary, a chilling story was about to unfold. One that would leave an entire community questioning how much faith we place in authority. The mother of a 6-year-old girl received a phone call. She was told her daughter had misbehaved in class, causing damage to a school computer. The fine was $50. For this mother, a native Spanish speaker with limited English, the message seemed simple enough. Pay the fee, make amends, and move on. What she did not understand, however, was the other meaning hidden in the words. The staff had spoken of paddling. To her ears, it was just another confusing English term. To the school's principal, Melissa Carter, it was a punishment waiting to be carried out. The woman walked into the school building carrying money in her purse, thinking she was settling a debt, but instead, she was ushered quietly into the principal's office. There was no crowd, no teachers bustling about, no security officers standing by. Just a closed room, a desk, and 2 adults with grim expressions. The mother felt her chest tighten, though she could not yet put words to why. There, seated nervously in a chair, was her daughter. The little girl's legs dangled, too short to touch the ground. Beside her stood Principal Carter and a clerk, Cecilia Self. Both women moved with the heavy certainty of people who believed they were doing something justified. The mother, confused, waited. Then the paddle appeared. It wasn't some light piece of wood, not a playful ruler used to tap a desk. It was large, solid, and built for impact. The principal held it up like a judge raising a gavel before sentencing. Only then did the mother realize what was about to happen. Panic rushed over her, but fear kept her silent. She thought of the absence of cameras, the lack of witnesses. She feared no one would believe her if she spoke out. Her trembling hands reached into her purse. Slowly, carefully, she slid out her cell phone and pressed record. The video would later circulate the internet. Horrifying. Millions. But in that moment, it was just a desperate act of preservation. Through the lens, she captured every detail. The clerk restraining the child, bending her forward, the principal's voice sharp with authority, the girl's sobs echoing in the small office. "Finally, you understand what's going on," Cecilia Self muttered, as if the punishment were a lesson in itself. "Put your butt out." And then came the sound, the unmistakable crack of wood striking a fragile body. The child cried out, her voice rising with every blow, until it was no longer just pain, it was betrayal. Betrayal of trust, of innocence, of the safety that every child is supposed to feel at school. The mother's own tears blurred her vision, but she did not stop recording. In her heart, she knew she was sacrificing something precious that day, her daughter's comfort, her protection. Yet she also believed this sacrifice would uncover a truth hidden too long in plain sight. Later, she would speak to reporters with trembling words. "The hatred with which she hit my daughter. I had never hit my daughter like that. Nobody would have believed me. I sacrificed my child so all parents can realize what's happening in this school." The little girl was taken to a doctor that same day. Red marks and bruises painted her skin, silent evidence of the wooden paddle's cruelty. The doctor confirmed what the mother already knew: the pain was real, and it was inflicted by those meant to protect. Soon, the investigation began. Principal Melissa Carter and clerk Cecilia Self faced the scrutiny of the public, the law, and the parents who entrusted them with their children. While corporal punishment still lingers as a shadow in some Florida counties, Hendry County School District had made its policy clear. No paddling, no striking, no punishments that demean or violate a child's rights. Yet here was proof, undeniable, that the rules had been broken. The community split in outrage. Some voices thundered against the cruelty. "This is unfathomable violence. That child is scarred for life." Others shook their heads at the mother. "Why didn't you stop it? How could you just record and not intervene?" The debate spread like wildfire. Was it discipline or abuse? Was it justice or cruelty hidden behind the mask of authority? In the quiet of her home, the mother held her daughter close. The girl's sobs had faded to whimpers, her tiny body clinging to the only true source of comfort she had left. The mother whispered promises of justice, though inside she wondered if justice even existed for people like them, outsiders with accents, strangers to the system, mothers forced to prove their truth with the tears of their own children. And while the world argued online, the girl simply asked the only question that mattered: "Mommy, why did they hurt me?" The story spread far beyond the walls of Central Elementary. That shaky cell phone video, filmed by trembling hands, now traveled across television screens and social media feeds. Viewers gasped as they watched the little girl cry out under the wooden paddle. The image of her pain became impossible to ignore. Soon, the debate reached every corner of the community. Some voices roared in anger. "This is disgusting, unthinkable violence from someone in power," they wrote. Others defended old traditions, insisting that discipline was necessary for unruly children. "I was spanked at school, and I turned out fine," they argued. And in between were those who blamed the mother herself, saying she had betrayed her daughter by not stopping it. But the truth remained. The Hendry County School District had banned such punishment long ago. The policy was clear: discipline must not demean, must not violate a child's rights. The principal and clerk, whether blinded by anger or clinging to outdated customs, had crossed a line that law and morality had both drawn in bold red. Investigators moved swiftly. Both Carter and Self faced federal scrutiny, and parents across Florida began to wonder what else might be happening behind closed office doors. The video had pierced the silence that so often hides abuse, pulling into the light what many feared but could not prove. The mother, though haunted by guilt, remained steadfast in her decision. In her interviews, she repeated the same words, her voice cracking each time. "I sacrificed my daughter so other parents would know the truth." She carried the burden of judgment from strangers online, but in her heart, she believed she had done the only thing she could. Without proof, her voice alone would have been dismissed, drowned in the noise of denial. Meanwhile, the little girl began to heal, though scars of fear do not fade as quickly as bruises on the skin. Each day she asked her mother why those trusted adults had hurt her, and each day her mother tried to answer with reassurances she barely believed herself. For the public, the case became larger than one child. It forced a reckoning with uncomfortable questions. Should schools ever have the right to strike children? Should parents surrender that much authority to institutions? Or should discipline remain within the family, where love, patience, and responsibility temper the hand that corrects? And as the noise of the debate continued, the video itself remained a haunting memory. A small child's cry echoing in a quiet office, the crack of wood against flesh, the silent tears of a mother holding a phone. It was more than evidence. It was a reminder of the fragility of trust. In the end, the law would decide the future of Melissa Carter and Cecilia Self. Whether punishment or absolution, it could not erase what had already been done. But for one little girl, her mother's embrace became the only shield that truly mattered. And for those who watched the story unfold from afar, it left a lingering unease, a question that whispered to them as they drifted to sleep: if this could happen in a place built to protect children, then what else might be hidden behind the closed doors of authority?